I can't explain what has just happened. This is just magic. Absolute magic. So it was around 5:30, which is when I usually see them on the cameras. All of a sudden, to my right, I hear a few gunshots. As winter draws to a close, the first signs of spring begin to appear. The air is still cold beneath the trees, but something has changed. New life begins to push through the damp forest floor, bringing colour back to the woodland. Spring is one of the most magical times of year. Across the landscape, wildlife begins preparing for a new generation. But there is one story I've always wanted to follow since the very beginning of my wildlife photography journey. The red fox. If you're new here, my name's Shelby. I'm a 16-year-old wildlife photographer and aspiring filmmaker, and I just want to say thank you so much for joining me on this adventure. For over 2 years, I've dreamt of capturing this one photo of fox cubs surrounded by bluebells, and most importantly, I wanted to capture it here in my local woods, where I'm really lucky enough to have bluebells fill the forest floors every April. Now, at the start of this year, I discovered what looked to be an active fox den. I saw a female vixen fox sitting outside the den when I was trying to photograph a sparrowhawk, and at first I thought that I scared her off. It was around the time when vixens start to head underground to give birth to their cubs, and I was really hoping that that was the spot where she was going to give birth. So I carefully set up a trail camera, and then I left the area alone. I didn't want to disturb them, so I just had to sit back and wait patiently for something to happen. Now, a few weeks later, I went on a trip to the Yorkshire Dales, and on the journey home, I got a random notification from my trail camera, and I decided to have a look. And there they were. Fox cubs were literally right outside of the den. I was so excited, and I was trying to count them, and at first I thought there was only 3 or 4, and in the end I realised there were 7 fox cubs right in my local woods. So as carefully as I possibly could, I set up my hide at a safe distance, making sure I wasn't changing their behaviour or disturbing the family. And from that moment on, all I had to do was wait.
Around 3:30 p.m. right now, and yesterday the cubs came out to play at 10 to 6, so I reckon it'll be about 2 hours from now. I don't mind waiting. My heart was pounding when that fox came in. I'm waiting as long as it takes it. Unfortunately, it's been 5 hours, and apart from that male fox coming in, there's been no activity. It's quite weird because the cubs were last out at 6:30 this morning. I would have thought that they would be really tired, so they would have a long rest today and then come out this evening. There's still time, so got about an hour and a half of light. I'm really hoping something happens.
I would say the most challenging part about this experience was it was in the peak of my favourite season, when the forest is just filled with bluebells. But I was so keen to get these photos that I just pushed through and I put in the hours. It was very hard coming home empty-handed most of the time, but some hide sessions were a lot harder than others.
I'm absolutely exhausted. So this morning was probably one of the worst times I've ever had in this hide. So I waited 4 hours in the hide, plus an hour beforehand waiting to try and get into the hide because the cubs were out and the female was sleeping on the outside. Eventually I was able to get into my hide because they went under. Waited 4 hours, saw absolutely nothing, and I was going to stay longer, but I gave it an extra half an hour, and then I thought, okay, I'm going to go home, get some lunch and then go back out. I wouldn't have been as bothered if the cubs came out whilst I was eating my lunch at home, but as I was leaving the hide, and I was probably 10 metres from the hide, I looked back at the den, and 15 metres away, off in the other direction, the male came jogging in with a rabbit. I was shocked. I was like, oh shoot, okay, I've got to go. So I hid behind a bush and I managed to get away without the fox seeing me. But as I sat for a little bit, I checked the camera and the fox dropped off the rabbit and all of the cubs came out, and I was so gutted.
Although it was hard coming home without seeing the foxes, there were times where I would actually be worrying about the safety of the foxes. Last year I came across a fox shot dead, one that I'd been photographing for months and I had built a real connection with. I feel that when photographing wildlife, there is nothing more important than the wildlife itself staying safe, and I wanted nothing similar to happen to these foxes. So this afternoon and evening was pretty disappointing. It was around 5:30, which is when I usually see them on the cameras when I'm at home. All of a sudden to my right, I hear a few gunshots. Now, I don't know if they were gunshots or bird scarers, but what I do know is that definitely put the foxes off from either one coming out or the male coming back. And I'm praying that the male is safe, but I'm not gonna jump to conclusions. I'm just gonna keep up this consistency. But what can you do, you know? This is what goes into wildlife photography, and it's what a lot of people don't see. So yeah, we will try again. After all of the attempts, it was very frustrating with still nothing, but I knew that each time I was getting that one step closer. On the 29th of April, a random Wednesday morning, I turned up to the hide, and after a few hours of waiting, something truly magical happened. I can't believe it. Fox cubs. I genuinely can't believe what has happened. Just out of the blue, I see a fox cub. I point with my camera and it is a fox cub. It's just so surreal. Explain in a minute. So I've just entered the woods and I'm now a short distance from the fox den. So I'm just going to talk you through a little bit about how I'm going to photograph these fox cubs today. So for the past 3 weeks, I've been set up in my hide. When I first set it up, the wind direction was absolutely perfect, but unfortunately the wind direction just started to change slightly as time went on, and for a whole week it was going the complete opposite way that I wanted. It would be blowing my scent straight towards the den. So I gave the foxes a week's rest, and just last week I started going back again. They're around 7 weeks old now. It is the perfect chance to get some beautiful shots of them, and they're at the right age now where the parents aren't coming during the day, so the parents are sleeping and hunting elsewhere and only coming in at night. So it gives me the opportunity to sit a bit closer to the den, not with a hide, just with some camouflage, and I'm able to get some really nice photos of these beautiful animals. So I'm going to try today and we'll see what we can capture, and I'll bring you along. So I'm all set up now and there's pretty much no wind. My scent is probably lingering around, but they are used to my scent because I've been sort of in the area often. I've sometimes left a jumper of mine in the hide. Parents probably went up to the hide during the night, and I'm hoping that they've linked that scent to no threat. Obviously the parents haven't moved them. They've been coming out, not really bothered by me at all. So I think it's been working, and now it's just a matter of enjoying the bird song and waiting patiently, and hopefully something might happen soon. Explain what has just happened. This is what happens when you are just silent, still and camouflaged. Basically, I was just watching the fox cubs as normal. There was around 3 or 4 of them out. One of them spotted me. I think he just saw a little bit of movement and he was so curious that he just started walking towards me through the bluebells. You could see he's so young because they're struggling to keep balance still. Like they're sort of walking all over the place, but he was just wandering through the bluebells straight towards me, and he got within 3.5 meters. It got to the point where I thought my camera wasn't gonna focus on him because he was so close. His face filled the frame, and I've just looked at some of the images and the details in the eyes are just, I'm genuinely over the moon. This is what makes the hours worth it. I've dreamed of getting photos like these for over 2 years, and I can't believe what has just happened. This is why I do wildlife photography. it is the biggest privilege to be able to see them on the cameras at 4 weeks old emerging, when they came out as these little grey-black fluff balls, and now they're getting this gorgeous brown auburn red colour, and they are growing so fast. This is just magic, absolute magic.